On the next Roseanne show, Roseanne talks to talk show host and author Montel Williams about showing off his assets.
You know that you have a good butt, and so you're always trying to make everybody look at it. Let's talk for real. Here's how you are to all your people when you go in the audience. And here's the camera. You're like, yes, would you?
Then, singer Phoebe Snow performs with special guest Michael McDonald on The Roseanne Show.
On the show today, talk show host and big, bad, sexy, bald guy, Montel Williams. And one of the most distinctive voices of the last 25 years, Phoebe Snow. Now be quiet. Seriously. To impeach or not to impeach, that is the question. And the big front page headline stuff. And it's all you're going to hear about for the rest of your life and into the next millennium, whichever comes first. America is sick of it because it's all a red herring, a grand distraction from the information that the American people need to know. Like first, it's preempting my show, okay? That is the most important thing. But don't let this story make you forget about the rest of the newspaper. You can't just focus on Section A, page 1. For instance, in Section B, page 4, I read that scientists have found fossil evidence of single-celled bacteria dating back more than 3 billion years. That means that life began further back than when they first thought. I think that's kind of cool. I mean, you know, that science crap. It's not as cool as the president wagging his dog in the Oval Office, but I'm definitely more well-rounded for having read it. And what else did I read in the newspaper? Section C, page 3, cloning people and pets. Did you hear about that? Now Lassie won't only come home, she'll be home. And then there's the whole Bosnian genocide thing that they never talk about, that they're capitalizing on by making and selling snuff films. Did you hear about this? It's that whole porno for guns exchange program thing they've got going. But that is not as important as Clinton's impeachment. And by the way, he's never going to resign, so A, give it up, B, let it go, and C, stop preempting my show. The extent of my political knowledge for the day. Do you want to ask me anything? Anybody? You better do it quick. Yeah, sir.
What do you do for stress?
What do I do for stress? I fire people. It really helps. It helps. I don't know. It's just something to look forward to every day. Anybody else? Yeah. Oh, ask it.
Do you ever interview people from the audience that have something good going on?
Yeah, what do you got good going on?
Well,
I'm assuming you have something good going on.
Yes, I'm a professional singer, but I teach exercise for big women called Large and Lovely.
Oh, cool.
And I just got back from Europe. I made the video there, and I haven't got a chance to get it out there, you know. It's for big women that enjoy being their size and their culture, without having to being intimidated by, you know, skinny, liposucked, G-string women, you know. Because, you know, some of us, we're just born with butts, you know, they're not going away. And
they're not going anywhere,
no,
are they?
And it's like it's got to be another alternative, you know, to be big and proud. That's why I call it Large and Lovely.
That's cool.
So, like, my stage name is Double Luscious. But,
what do you do, strip or something?
No, no. I'm a professional singer. You
You're
know, my
professional
mother,
singer.
Linda Hopkins, you know my mother.
Your mother's Linda Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
She told me to
she's
tell you hello,
brilliant.
please.
Now, so you're a large and lovely exerciser and a singer.
Yes.
So what's
I
the
have
large
3
and lovely?
CDs.
Come up here and show me a couple of moves. Okay.
I wrote a song called Shake What You Got.
Well, show me how you shake it. I got a lot.
I got one that goes like this. This is a fun one. Yes, it goes
Yeah.
up and open and up, and
Okay, I gotta do it. Wait.
and open, and up, and pull. Come on. Up, and open, and pull. Come on. Up, and open, up, and pull. Shake it out.
Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie. I bought a package for you.
Thank you. Go sit down now. Go on. Sit down. I'm so excited because later in the show, one of the most inspiring voices to come out of the 70s and one of my favorite singers in the world, Phoebe Snow, is going to be here. And my first guest went from decorated bald naval officer to bald motivational speaker to bald Emmy-winning talk show host. Please welcome the bald and the beautiful Montel Williams. Oh, boy.
I brought you a gift.
You did.
I had to bring you a gift, and I'll tell you why. The first
nice.
question the gentleman asked you here was what do you do for stress? And so
Right.
I decided to help you with your stress. This is
Oh,
from
nice.
a place here in town called Elixir on Melrose Avenue. I'm gonna tell you, you need to all run out there and go there. This place it's addicting. It's all herbs and tonics to help you heal yourself
really?
from within.
Oh, cool.
Inside here, we have a stress-reducing thing. We have some little bath balls you just
that's
drop in the
nice.
bathtub, candle, chocolate bar,
Chocolate
incense,
reduces
you name
stress.
it. And I also have something else for you, because I noticed that last
Oh,
dance that
boy.
you were doing.
And you like
And the ultimate thing to reduce some stress is woman's essential sex tonic. Let me tell you what it's got. Let me tell you.
Okay, tell me what it's got.
What's in here? It says right here. It says evoking a steady calm within the fire of passion. Gonna light some fires in Roseanne today.
How does it do that, Montel?
Well, you have to, I think on this particular one, you have to drop a few drops. And you know what you have right here is
put it in
something
my
called
water?
depth recharger. No, this is from Elixir also.
Oh.
This, what's there, which is normally your tea, that's from Elixir called a
But
depth
if I
recharger.
drop this in there, is it going to be like Viagra?
No, well,
Is that what it is?
do it 30 minutes before you decide to have sex. If you drop it in there right now, we're going to get busy before the hour's over. On national TV.
You know,
Don't take too much.
About 30 minutes, I'm going to be all over you, Montel.
Well, you know, wait.
Well, I think he's hot. I think Montel is so hot.
Ooh, thank you.
But you know that you have a good butt. And so you're always trying to make everybody look at it. Let's talk for real. On your show.
Look, I covered it up right
No.
here. Huh? No? Look at this turn around. Why? No, on my show, I do have
On your show, you wear the vest, all tucked in, and you're always like this. Here's how you are to all your people when you go in the audience. And here's the camera. You're like, yes, would you? What would you? You're like, what would you like to say, ma'am?
Well, you know, it's, in daytime, we can't do certain things, and you know that. There's certain things
Well,
we
I
can't get
have
away
no
with.
butt, and I'm jealous. Oh, you're a happily married
I'm
man.
a very happily married man. As a matter of fact, my wife made me give you that sex tonic because she said,
She could see
I
I
don't need
needed
this. No, she said she doesn't need it anymore. She's been wearing me out, so I decided to give it to you, so I give it out of our closet.
Your wife has been wearing you out?
Man. Well, you know, here's the thing. When you're 40, I should give it up. I'm 42 years old, and I'm proud of it. I don't mind my age at all. And my wife is a little younger than me. And,
How old is she?
She's 34. And at 34, you know, 42, 34, you got to kind of try to make sure you stay in shape so she doesn't have to go looking at other people. And I keep myself together and make sure that when she's ready and she wants me, I'm there. And see,
Whoa,
recently...
what a guy.
Hey, she calls the shots, not me. That's how it
That
should
is
work.
the way it should be, isn't it,
Absolutely,
Montel?
absolutely.
We'll be back in a minute with Montel. I like your show. You know, I watch it every day. You know, it's hard now since I'm down here all the time, but I like because it's real positive, and you have done a lot for, like, helping and bringing and...
Well, it's something that a lot of people don't know about our show, and you've heard a lot of other people who have copied what we've done, and that's exactly what they've done.
I know that.
5 years ago, we started something which was called our aftercare program. We hired a staff psychologist who's on our staff, who does nothing but help to place people after they're on the show, but also help those viewers who call in and say, I need some help. What's going on in my state? She responds and tells them where they can go to get help for a problem.
You build a whole network of stuff
Absolutely.
to help people. That's great.
We put over 60 people through residential treatment programs for various kinds of illnesses and things, and it pays off because they come back.
It's so great to be able to be on TV and use it for something positive, isn't it?
Well, I wish some of the other members of the media would start to do the same thing.
Let's talk about the media a little bit.
Okay, sure.
That was an excellent transition there, Montel, you professional.
8 years, baby, in the business. No, go ahead.
But, well, you got in all this stuff, we're talking about sexual harassment, and they put it on all the front pages, right? And then when you were exonerated, how many newspapers printed that you were innocent?
Let's back up for a second. 2 women stepped forward and lied about me. Lied. And they plastered my face over front newspapers all over the country saying Montel is a sexual harasser. Now, this thing has gone on for now 3 years, and I can't talk about the entire thing because a little piece of it is still going on. But I have won issue after issue in court, not with fancy lawyers, just because a judge said unequivocally this was a frivolous lawsuit done to extract money from Montel Williams. And my name, I don't care, and the bottom line, I've even had my own company told me I should settle. That's the reason why we have these frivolous lawsuits, is because too many people settle and don't stand up for their own dignity and their own personal work.
I don't settle.
It is my name, and you don't settle.
I don't settle.
And I refuse to settle, and I have not settled this case, and I won't. Take me to court.
But, Montel, but I want to talk about when you were exonerated, that no newspaper printed that.
Nobody's covered it at all.
No.
And I'm going to talk about that in the next couple of weeks, because the final piece of this puzzle will be settled in the next 2 days. And when it is, I'm going before Congress to talk about the fact that, you know, we in this country, we allow people to rape people over an allegation. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? I spent 22 years in the military supporting and defending our Constitution of the United States. I deserve due process. You don't make me guilty in the public eye and then find out the truth of the matter is that it was all a lie.
And then not correct it.
And not correct it. Enough is enough.
Coming up, I was a guest on Mr. Montel's show. Find out why and how it changed the lives of 4 very special women. Stay tuned.
Who's the bounciest friend around? Tigger's here to bounce and play.
I'm gonna bounce.
There's bouncing fun all day.
Bounce is what Tigger's.
And home fashions, everything for your baby. And thousands of coats, jackets, and leathers, all at our famous low prices.
Burlington Coat Factory, we're more than great coats.
One of the devastating outcomes of child sexual abuse is prostitution. And everybody knows that. Everybody's known that forever. This is what happens. This is the price you pay. And this is where you end up. And until this society really, really deals with that, I think that it's going to kill us all.
Your appearance on our show prompted a young lady to write us or call us and say, I need help for my family. Because my sisters are out there, they're doing some things that are really wrong. They were running away. One of them, to keep food in her stomach, has walked down that street and taken a man in and taken some money. And it's because of you that we got them on the show, and we're able to then get them to Children of the Night, which is the organization you support a lot. And I think we have a clip of that.
No consequence for these 3 children.
What is so funny, Nikki?
Listening to her cry.
Why is that so funny?
Because she doesn't cry when we're at home talking to her. Yeah. She usually cries just to make
she can cry in front of everybody else,
but she can't do it in front of us. That's her excuse.
I have an offer for the 3 of you. Now, I just contacted an organization in California. It's called Children of the Night. Now, we work with them. They work with, don't give that face, Roseanne Barr, and a lot of people in this country work with Children of the Night, and they are willing right now to provide the 3 of you, and talk with you, Mom, but to provide the 3 of you with a bus ticket to them. And guess what? They took the bus ticket, and they're here right now, here on the show. Please welcome Debbie, Jennifer, Nikki, and Jamie to your show.
Hi. Well, you were a nasty little girl on there, weren't you?
And I'm going to be truthful. I got to say this. I have not seen them now for, what is it, 3 years?
Yeah.
4 years?
Let's just talk about the power of television for a second. How awesome it is to be able to, like, send out information that actually can help people help give them some way to change things in their lives. So happy to have that opportunity. And y'all are doing way better, huh? Yeah. You start crying when you see what a nasty little girl you were to your mother. Weren't you nasty? Yeah. And now things have changed, right, Mom?
Yep. Things have changed a lot, and it's because of both of you. I want to thank you both.
Well, we were glad that we could give information, but the truth of it is that it's because of you. It's because of all of you.
And you know what's so powerful about this is that their appearance on our show, going to Children of the Night, prompted other girls to call us and say, will you help me do this? And the fact of the matter is, here's a mother who, at that time, thought she was dealing with this by herself. She had a husband, your stepdad, and he never gave up on you. So the entire family stayed together, and it took time. It took years. It doesn't happen overnight. It took some time.
How long has it been?
But boom. 2.5, 3 years.
How were you all able, let's just cut through. How were you all able to change your lives like you did?
I have no idea. I really don't.
Was it the fact that somebody finally reached out and said there's another way?
Yes.
Did it click in your head that it was possible?
Yeah. I realized that's not what I wanted to do anymore.
Was seeing yourself on television the powerful kick in the head you needed there? How do you feel when you watch yourself like that?
I can't watch it. I cannot watch it.
Do you remember being in that head where you thought you were so cool to be like up like that?
I was so messed up in the head back then, I did not know what I was or where I was.
But how old were you then? You were 14.
I was 14.
14. But
how old are you now?
18.
And take a look. The truth is, it doesn't, all those young ladies out there right now who don't think that they can change and think that they have to be this way for their friends and for their peers and they have to act like this, there is change. And the change happens and boom, you can turn your life around and move on. And you can also catalyze other people.
They also need to have the backup of their parents.
Absolutely.
If their parents aren't there, my husband and I, with dealing with the three of them, have seen so many parents just say, okay, you don't want to do this, fine, get out. And it's like, my husband and I basically have a halfway house, even though it's just a regular house. We've had more kids come and stay and try and straighten them up because there are parents out there who don't care. They just throw their kids out and say that's it.
But you know, I don't even want to go there, Mom, Debbie, because the fact of it is, if you don't have your parents behind you, you still can change your life.
Yes, that's true.
You still can do it. How did you change yourself, Mom?
How did I change myself?
Yeah, to, you know, enable the whole thing to happen with your family.
I didn't change. As I said on Montel's show, I got fed up of everyone saying that the problem is with you, the problem is at home, the problem is with you. These children finally realized that the problem was with them and that they had to come to the realization that, hey, we need to change. Mom and Dad are doing everything they possibly can to help us. We need to do it. So we just basically stood back and said, okay, kids, this is how it's going to go.
So wait a minute, there is a decision there to change by you.
To let them change.
To step back,
Yes, to step back and let them change. They have to do the work. We got tired of doing it for them.
Sorry.
I want to hear what life is like now. Tell me what life's like now.
Well, I'm living on my own with my boyfriend and his parents. I'm working a steady job. And I just bought a brand new car.
Whoa.
Me and my boyfriend do together.
That's a big thing.
Bobsy twins.
Yeah, what about you guys?
We got children.
Yeah.
I saw your children too, they're beautiful.
Thanks.
How have you changed your life though? Or your thinking? Tell me about that.
No longer partying the way you used to.
No, I don't even have any friends, so.
Yep.
Being good moms.
Oh, yeah.
Everything revolves around our children.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to go back to school and go to art school and get my GED.
But even this just says no matter where you are, you just put your mind to it, you can do this and make a change.
Dreams come back, don't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Isn't it great? Isn't it just great
Yeah.
now?
It feels good to have
To have
complete
hope.
control.
Well, you know what?
Control, yeah. I'm happy for all of you.
Speaking of dreams, I know you got to go to commercial, but this is something else we brought to you. Our staff, my entire crew at the Montel Williams Show put this together for you.
Really sweet.
And it's for Roseanne. It says, "Here's to a winning season."
That's very sweet.
A trophy
Thank
of
you, Montel.
roses for Roseanne.
And I love that. It's very pretty. Very pretty. Thank you all. I got to go to commercial. Thank you all of you. I wish you the best. I know things are changing. I'm so happy. I'm happy for all of you. And for your kids, you can break cycles, turn things around, everything else. Thank you, too, because I know you did a lot of work. Whether you say it or not, I know you did. I can see it. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Montel.
Thank you.
Now, my next guest, if it wasn't enough that she's got one of the greatest voices that have ever been on this planet, and she's going to be playing right to the end from her first CD in 8 years. If that wasn't enough, my friend Phoebe Snow, she is joined today by somebody else who's got the other greatest voice in the world, Michael McDonald.
I'll do you right, John. I'll be with you for the long haul. You're all I do it for. To be so high in love, to be like nobody else love. That's how I love you more. Beyond the midnight, beyond the words I thought were so wise, beyond the reason why I don't have the answer. I only know I'm with you right to the end. I trust in you, I've got faith in you, right to the end. I'll stand by you, nothing I won't do, right to the end. I will be there.
Before we go off into your psychic abilities, we have to talk about that voice for a minute. We just have to talk about that voice and how great of a voice you have.
Thank you.
And you know why I love it so much? Well, you know that I love your voice.
Oh,
and I think you're such an awesome singer. And you know why I like it so much?
Why, Roseanne?
Because I don't know if I ever told you this, because I just got it. You have bridged some really cultural gap between Jews and black people that nobody has ever done before. And I hear it all in your voice.
Really?
It's just all those metaphors. It's a multicultural mix, and it's like,
it's interesting
beautiful.
because people have always tried to figure out, for some reason, what my ethnic background is, and I don't know. I'm sorry to let everybody down. I know that was a letdown, but I don't know. And
you got a lot of Jewish in there.
there's a Jewish thing happening, but there's something else going on, and
Yeah,
it's
there is.
really... I met Jasmine Guy a couple of years ago, and she just like went, whoa! You know, she just like totally hooked into... She said, you look like family. And I said, thank you. That's very kind of you. I don't know. I don't know what my ethnic background is.
And you sound like family to both. I want you to know that.
Oh, God bless you.
Because there's nobody that can do that but you.
Wow. I never actually thought of that. I never thought of that, but
Well,
there
maybe
you
it's
are.
your channeling like all kinds of things. Let's talk about your psychic channeling abilities.
Oh, my God.
Tell
All
me,
right.
because everybody said you had some psychic thing about me that I haven't heard.
I had a dream about you a year before I met you. And some of the key things that were in the dream were, oh my God, something about Lucille Ball, and you were in a trailer, and you were doing something on a sitcom that was physical comedy like Lucille Ball, and you even had like Lucille Ball's hair. And this was about a year before I met you.
Yeah.
And it was also about a year and a half before I read in TV Guide that you were going to do something about a movie called The Long Trailer, which was Lucille
which I
Ball and
never
Desi,
did.
which you never did, but...
So much for your psychic
Okay,
abilities.
I'm not psyched, so we'll have
Right.
to talk about something else.
What are we going to talk about?
I don't know.
Let's talk about what an awesome mother you are.
Oh, thank you. Some people know about this, I guess.
Some
Thank
people
you.
know. Some people know. Can we clarify it, though? Because I think it's so awesome, Phoebe.
Okay, I'll talk about this a little bit.
And I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
No,
I don't
I'm-
want to go anyplace uncomfortable.
No,
But I just want to say that people should hear, people who need to hear should be able to hear.
I thought about this, and I decided that there's a way that I want to say something about this.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate to sound opinionated or preachy in any way. But
Oh, just say it.
Okay,
I'll
on this
sound
show,
it.
I could probably
Yeah, we
say
like
anything.
opinionated people here.
In light of something I heard in the news this morning, I just forgot the guy's name, but there was a terrible thing that happened in Wyoming where a young man was murdered. People are saying it's a hate crime. I really don't think it needs to be more specific than that right now, except that two guys lured him out of a public place and murdered him, and they made it look like they were very purposely murdering him. And I just don't understand. I don't understand what makes people so angry and feel so frightened of another human being. I'm the mother of a daughter who has some disabilities, and she's going to be 23 years old in December of this year. And we have dealt with an enormous amount of prejudice. I have to say that's one of the things that I find most distressing about our situation is that people
It's
are...
not even the things in your daily life that you have to overcome that are as hard as going out in the world, is it?
People who are frightened tend to get very angry behind their fear and just sort of irrationally hate somebody else or be grossed out by somebody else without really knowing them or really understanding them. And I live with a daughter who's a very loving individual. Now, Roseanne, you met
I met
my
Valerie,
daughter.
yes.
My daughter is very tiny. She's about this big. She's very delayed because of all her physical problems. She took one look at Roseanne and just decided she had to hug her as much as she possibly could. This is my daughter. I'm bringing a little of my daughter's energy into the room right now.
Your daughter has incredible energy.
My daughter's an amazing human being.
What has she taught you?
My daughter...
Let's talk about the stuff in you that she challenged and changed.
Well, my daughter saved my life, basically. I was a very angry person, hopefully never in a prejudiced direction, but just kind of frustrated. You know how I had no patience. I felt like I couldn't cope with anything. I would get frustrated real easy. I'd feel like I couldn't finish anything I started.
Do you feel that God sent this person
absolutely
to you?
100%.
He sent an incredible person to you to teach you what?
Well, the paradox, the irony of my daughter is, here was a person who came to me and was labeled helpless and dependent, and who, from outside appearances, looked like she needed me for everything. And that's been pretty much the perception, is that my daughter wouldn't have made it without. It's completely the other way around.
Because you did give up your career for 18 years to care for your daughter.
On and off, yes, I did. Sometimes because I was just so burnt out I couldn't go on, that it just took its emotional toll. But I really want to make it clear, I want to say this. My daughter saved my life. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my daughter unconditionally loving me, forgiving me for screwing up at the times that I wasn't a very good mom. I don't think I've ever been so divinely or perfectly loved in my life. I don't think I ever will be by any other person on this earth.
Well, because people aren't capable of that, are they?
Yeah, no, I guess they should be in a perfect world. It's not a perfect world, though, and I've been blessed enough to have a little slice of perfection in my life. And
what was she capable of giving you? What did she challenge in you?
All of that judgmental stuff, mostly turned on myself. I was very self-effacing. I was very critical of myself. And no matter what I felt I looked like, or no matter what I felt that I was doing or not doing on any given day, my daughter would put her arms around me and embrace me and hug me. And I wish I could do that to myself. You know, I mean, I'm still learning from my daughter. She is just the most unconditionally loving human being I've ever been blessed to. I don't know how I got so lucky. When people hear this story, generally their first response is to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you have a, you know, don't ever be sorry for me. I am loved divinely and perfectly every day of my life. I can't wait to go home. I'm going home tomorrow," and it's like, "Oh my God, I love you, I miss you." It's just, I'm blessed.
Well,
I'm
angels come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, don't they?
You bet, amen.
Your daughter is really a great person. She's got intense eyes and incredible energy.
She sure loved you. She started to leave the room and she, wait a minute, and she ran back and hugged her again. Yeah.
You are very lucky.
I am. That's why I smile all the time, because I got my daughter.
It's great that you told this story.
I'm a nervous
I know
wreck.
what it means to you and what it means to people out there who need to hear it. I'm going to talk more with my friend Phoebe after this.
On the next Roseanne show, Clay Pigeon star Janine Garofalo and rapper-actor Ice-T.
I wonder how I'm going to do that.
We're back with my dear friend Phoebe Snow, who I don't know if people know that you sang the words a cappella to the last season of my show. I don't know if people know that.
Oh, yeah, that was me. The very last theme song, which I can't think of at the moment.
We put words by John Popper, Blues Traveler.
Right.
And then I asked you to sing it.
And I also
That was really meaningful to me, you know, very meaningful to me.
And I also sang at your wedding.
You sang at my wedding. You sang at my son's bar mitzvah.
Right.
Did you forget that? And I sang with you.
Yes.
How good was I as a singer? Tell everybody.
Very good.
Wasn't I good?
We sang Proud Mary.
Right.
Something like this. Rolling! It's great.
I'm a good screamer.
You screamed.
I scream good, don't I?
It was very
I just have a
cool.
little trouble with notes. But I've got the power though, and the come on, you know I do.
No.
I have the power and the what do you call it? Loud. Down.
Volume.
The volume.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I just need a little bit of help on the individual notes.
Never mind. Forget it.
You need to teach me a little bit. Give me a little music lesson.
Oh, would you like to hear?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do this.
Give
No,
me
I
some
was
music
actually I
lessons.
was going to tell you about operatic technique.
I know you're studying opera now.
Oh God.
I want to talk all about opera.
Oh hell.
Opera blows my mind. I want you to sing opera so bad.
Oh my God.
Those people
Oh, no,
not
no,
today.
no.
No, not today. I just mean study it. I just mean study
It's
it so
just-
next time you come back. It'll be like 12 years, and then you'll come back.
That's right.
Because how many years did they study to get that?
Oh, 20-something years.
Oh, my God,
So
they're fantastic.
I mean, I've heard pop singers doing opera, and I'm like, is that really opera? I don't know. I mean, even what I'm doing, I'm trying to really study operatic technique. There is no way that I would like say, I'm going to make an opera album now. You can't be ready for that. I just started about 5 or 6 years ago, just starting to do it.
I want to see you sing it, though. You'd sing it like nobody.
Should I do one note?
Yeah, do, please.
Oh, one note.
Come on, one note. Do.
Okay, that's enough.
I can do that, I think. No, let me do it.
Go ahead. Go ahead. She can sing. What are you talking about? That was great.
I know, but you know what? I know that I'm like the best singer in the world.
You can sing.
But the thing is, no, it's true.
She can
But it's
sing.
only like in my room when nobody's around. Because I can't, like when people get around, they just mess me up.
But we're all here. We're
But
among friends.
someday I'm going to take these lessons and I'm going to come out and really sing.
No, you can
inspired by
totally-
you.
Now I'm getting nervous again. You have no idea how much you've inspired me.
Thank you.
I think you're one of the most courageous people I've ever known
Thank
in
you
my
very much.
entire life.
Thank you.
What you did in coming forward and talking about your childhood was so inspiring and so healing to me and probably to millions of people. It took guts to do what you did.
It
And
did
I
take
know
guts.
there was a lot of controversy.
It totally
and-
took all the guts I have ever had in my life, times 10. Forget doing a sitcom for 10 years. Forget everything else the people I have fought with against huge corporate powers and walked away one. That didn't mean anything. That was the thing that took my courage.
know.
And it was very, very devastating to me to be attacked for it. And you know why it was personally devastating, because that's what they tell you when you're a kid, is nobody will believe you, and
Right.
and that it did happen.
Right.
Then it turned around and happened. To me, I lived through it though, but I feel so much responsibility for the little kids that it shut up when they did that. And I don't like it, so that's why really that I decided to do a talk show, because I'm not going to shut up, and I'm going to keep talking about it. And we're going to keep having on little, young people who've dealt with it too. And we're going to keep talking about what it does to people, what it costs society, and what all things of hate and oppression do to people. I'm going to keep doing it till they take me off the air. So thank you very much for saying that
Well,
to me.
I had to say that because I remember the first day I walked up and said to you, I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh my God. I mean, you were braced for the controversy part of it.
Yeah.
And I just said,
I had taken some knocks.
I
by
got to
then.
tell you, without any qualms, again, it was one of the bravest things I've ever seen a celebrity do, one of the bravest things I've ever seen a high-profile celebrity do. You probably knew somewhere in the back of your mind it was going to set off a whole storm of
I knew it was
debate
going
back
to
and
make
forth.
people talk, and it was worth it
I
because
have
people
never
did
seen
talk.
anything like that. People did talk, and people talked about the one thing that they hardly ever talk about, which is sexual and violent abuse of children. It's the one last great frontier that we're not
It is
talking
the
about in an
last-
open dialogue.
It's the last great frontier.
It is.
And we will talk
And you're a
about everything
pioneer
but.
in
But
that.
you know what? That's why people are murderers. That's why
That's why
people
this
are
thing
rapists.
happens,
That's
yeah.
why people are every other violent thing, because that is where it started.
And it's because nobody's talking about it in an open, unedited dialogue where they can really say, I'm not afraid to talk about this. It's not the great taboo subject. It should be as open a discussion as, look
No, well,
what's
we just
happening.
keep on building more and more prisons.
It has been a taboo subject and something that people have been so horribly afraid to talk about for so long that there's a denial state that's so huge that they're saying it doesn't even exist.
No,
It's
it
like
doesn't exist.
it's invisible. We don't even see, so it doesn't surprise me.
Well, it
that-
was like, okay, we shut up Roseanne, and then we don't ever have to talk about it again.
Yeah.
Or we shut up whoever comes
Basically, they tried
out.
to discredit you.
Yeah.
And say, well, she's
But
a
they do it to-
comedian, and she's doing it for ratings.
But they
and
do it to everybody, child, adult, or whatever.
Mostly
Anybody
children.
especially children.
Mostly children, because
Anybody
they
who
can
comes.
anybody that's this big and is trying to get their point across. I mean, everybody
like,
else
shut
is this
up,
big.
it doesn't exist.
Yeah, they're like, if you tell a kid to shut up, they're very compliant.
And I swear to God, the stuff that kids are getting from this by us not talking about it, I'm talking about the whole Clinton thing. Take me off the air, I don't give a damn. The stuff that little kids are picking up because we won't discuss it and because we are deferring to
forced
it
to
and
discuss it
because
now.
we are denying it and because we're not looking at it and we are not assigning any responsibility to anybody but the girl.
Yeah.
Okay,
Have you
kids are
noticed that
learning a
too?
lot. Kids are going to learn a lot from that, and you are not going to like the
It's the
consequences
same
of
old
that.
crap.
It's the same
It's
old
all
crap like it
Monica's
always was.
fault.
Yeah.
You know?
And
Same
it was
old, same old.
it was the other 300 women's fault before her.
I'm
Okay,
sorry,
when we
I
come
just-
back, Phoebe will celebrate the 25th anniversary of the song that made her famous. I would like to thank all of my guests today, thank the people at home, thank the audience here, and I'm so excited. Phoebe is going to play us out. Anniversary of your song, 25 years.
It is 25 years.
Amazing.
Maybe today, who knows?
I'm out of here.